he.
Thank you very much. The ranking member mentioned that the food program is the biggest expense. And Senator Ernst, you were talking about having to make sure that the dollars are well spent. I am a strong supporter of nutrition. It was huge benefit to Vermont families and to kids. But any program that we have in government should always be reviewed to make certain that it's working properly and effectively. But it is the case in Vermont that our farmers love being able to put food on the table to kids and families. I mean, when I talk to farmers, they're really proud that they're feeding America. So, number one, to each of you, what suggestions do you have about making the nutrition program stronger? And when I say stronger, to meet the needs of folks, and it has to be accountable, but we can't substitute just an immense amount of paperwork and call that accountability, because that essentially, in many ways, will get things much more difficult for people who do need it. So I'll start with you, Ms. Dean.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate that opportunity. I mean, it's in this moment of review, it's important, I think, to step back. I think I'm trying to remember. More than half of our participants have incomes below 50% of the poverty line, meaning they live in deep poverty when they come to SNAP and they seek its help. So, Senator, you're right in reminding us to remind ourselves of who's using this program, and it is primarily households with very low income. That having been said, a large number of households on the program are earners. Their earnings are so low that they need SNAP's benefits to supplement, right. Or senior citizens and individuals with disabilities, for example, with a Social Security benefit that is too low to allow them to eat healthily. And so we're pleased that SNAP can supplement their income, and as you're saying, more money at the grocery store, which is more money in the food economy, back to those Vermont farmers.
Well, and another observation that I had in Vermont is that many of these food programs, including at schools, there's an enormous amount of community participation from local folks who find this a really wonderful way to contribute to the community. So there's a lot of volunteer effort that goes into it, everything from the delivery of meals to the school lunch program. Can each of you comment on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I'll ask Administrator Long to talk about one of our most wonderful community enhancements in school food, which is Farm to School, obviously a cherished Vermont.
Yeah, absolutely. I would certainly agree with you, Senator, that bringing local foods into school is...
Are you in the microphone?
Oh,
yeah.
I am. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you. I would certainly agree with you, Senator, that bringing local foods into schools really is a way to pull the community together. Thanks to the support of Congress, we've had a long-standing Farm to School program that was recently renamed for Senator Leahy. That has really, we've been able to fund over 1,000 projects that have made those connections between schools and communities and their local producers, and it can be transformative. I'll also just quickly flag that that's been a long-standing program, in place a little over a decade. And at USDA, we've recently made other efforts to support local food being even more present in schools. Our sister agency, the Agricultural Marketing Service, has been providing funding to states. I believe we funded over 30 states to date for them to assist schools and local producers in making those connections.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in working with folks on that Farm to School, because I think all of us are really supportive of that local agricultural component that's really near and dear to our communities. Talking about the kids at school, I was at St. Albans, and there's like 80% of the kids who are eligible. It's really astonishing, because it's a statement about our economy as much as anything else. In the way people are living and it's an incredible burden on the schools too, because they're taking on so much more responsibility for so many different areas. But I think that's not just true in Vermont, it's true all around the country. And there is this additional benefit of the socialization of kids eating at lunch rather than being on their devices. Has there been any study of what the social benefits are of the food security for the kids at school?
Well, I think there are a number of studies that show the benefits of the school meals program, including the nutritional benefits. Kids who eat school meals are more likely to consume fruits and vegetables and milk than their peers who don't participate in the program. You certainly mentioned the value of a community sitting down and eating together and socializing. That is something that we have certainly seen has been beneficial from something called the Community Eligibility Provision,
Right.
which is a program within the School Lunch Act that allows lower income communities to serve healthy meals to all kids.
Right.
And it really does encourage increased participation, it reduces stigma, and it does significantly reduce that administrative burden that you were referring to
Okay.
earlier.
Thank you very much. I'm over my time. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Senator Marshall.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Let me just clear my voice just for a second.